Hello. Our question of the week is, how do I live a good life? And the reason I've chosen this question is because I think for a lot of people who aren't Christians, they probably look in from the outside and they say, do you know what? I do not want any part of that. Christianity is just all about rules. It's all about trying to be a do-gooder, and I've got no interest in that.
That's very disturbing.
Now, to get some help in answering this question, I thought I'd phone a familiar friend. Hi mate, thanks for chatting. Can you just introduce yourself to everyone?
Hey guys, if you don't know me, my name's Andrew. I'm part of the team at Hope. Hopefully you've met me, but if not, I'd love to meet you sometime. Probably not yet, because we're in lockdown, so can't do that.
Hashtag stay home, save lives, am I right? Listen man, our big question this week is, how can I live a good life? And there's a lot of chat in church about holiness and righteousness and purity and things like that. There's different words for it. But I wonder what you thought it means to live a good life, to live a life that's pleasing to God.
Often when we think about purity in the Christian context, we actually spend more time thinking about impurity. We try and think about all the things we don't want to do, all the things we're not meant to do, all the things that aren't pure. And I was challenged a couple of years ago, I think by God, to actually think about purity is about the presence of one thing more than it is about the not presence of all the other things. So if you're a scientist or a metallurgist, someone who's passionate about metal, and you want pure iron, then you really have to focus on how you get pure iron rather than spending all your time thinking about getting rid of the impurities. And you could spend so much time getting rid of the impurities that you haven't thought about the quality of the thing you're actually going for. You know, you could have pure iron, but it might be really flimsy iron. It might be really weak and flaky and sort of not fit for purpose, because all you were thinking about was trying to get rid of the impurity rather than thinking about the quality of your purity. And so if you translate that into the Christian life, when we think about purity, what if we change the focus to looking at actually what is the one thing that actually defines purity? What is the thing that we're going after?
What am I going after? I guess probably six-pack abs would be pretty cool.
In my mind, I think that purity is about unbroken friendship with God.
Sure. That was going to be my next answer, yeah. What do you mean by that?
A continual, constant connection and dialogue and friendship with God himself. He asks us to be pure because he knows that we thrive, that we discover everything we're meant to be, that we live life to the full as it was meant to be lived when we are in unbroken connection with him. He calls us to be pure for our benefit, not for his. He calls us to be pure to protect us, to preserve us, to enable us to live as we were meant to live. So as you reflect on purity, just try thinking about the thing that you are going after rather than the things that you're trying to not go after. And that's my top tip for what Christian purity is.
All right, cool mate. Well, thank you so much for talking. You've been really helpful. I love you, man. He must have lost signal. Andrew is basically saying that the Christian life is not just a process of doing less and less naughty things. It's a process of growing more and more in your love for God and your love for others. And this is an idea that's just all over Scripture, which leads us very conveniently to Bible time.
Please, no! No!
Calm down. This week it isn't even that long. It's just one verse. It comes from Romans chapter 14, verse 23, and it says, everything that does not come from faith is sin. I'll repeat that. Everything that does not come from faith is sin. Or, as Andrew put it, if we're not acting in connection and friendship with God, then we're getting it wrong. We often think of the word faith as being like the strength or the courage to keep believing in something even when it's hard. Like, oh, I just need the faith to keep believing that God is real, or to keep believing that he is going to heal my friend. But in the Bible, faith is like way better than that. Faith is a relationship thing. Like Andrew was saying, faith is that connecting point between us and God, where we turn to him and we say, I want you, I want your friendship, I want to do my life with you. Here's a question for you to think about or discuss at home. How can you tell if someone genuinely loves and cares for you? Pause the video here and have a think. No one likes it when other people change their behaviour just because they think they might get something from you, or they feel they have to please you in some way. That's not how real friendships work, and it's the same with God. He doesn't have any interest in an obedience that's disconnected from love for Him. For more on this idea, go and read the story of the two brothers in Jesus' prodigal son parable, which you can find in Luke chapter 15. Don't ever let anyone tell you that Jesus was just a good moral teacher. If you want good moral principles, you can go to the Scouts or the Guides and that would be fine. But Jesus invites us to a life of love and adventure with the living God, and that is something that is holy and dynamic and extraordinary. Bye everyone, see you next time.